In your top story this hour, the search continues for two people who went missing when the bakkie they were traveling in was swept away in Umsinga in KwaZulu-Natal. 4 bodies have been recovered after the vehicle transporting 8 people was washed away on Thursday while crossing a low-lying bridge on the P17 near eMabovini. Only 2 people survived. Newzroom Afrika's Silethiwe Ndlovu has more details on the story and joins us now live. Silethiwe, good morning. Just take us through what transpired yesterday and also just to touch a bit on today's plans.
Good morning, Mashaba. Well, yesterday we saw the retrieval or the recovery of 2 bodies. The first body was discovered in Uthugela. You will remember there's quite an extensive search that has been taking place, and that search started on Thursday after 7 p.m. and that's now after the vehicle was swept away. So 2 bodies were discovered on Friday. However, yesterday, which was a Saturday, 2 other bodies were discovered. And as stated, the first one was discovered in Uthugela. The second one was discovered quite far from where the first body was actually discovered. It was discovered in eMabovini, which is under the Umsinga local municipality. In terms of what's set to take place today, there's still a bit of uncertainty, of course, because the river that they are searching in is quite vast. So there's no certainty in terms of which point they're actually going to start at. However, we were informed yesterday that they would be bringing a chopper to assist with the search. Now, in terms of what also transpired yesterday, or what we observed, there was lack of resources, and that came from the community members in those different areas. That includes Ndlovu and Umsinga. Now, in terms of the first body that was discovered, what we saw was that the community members, or the search, was mostly made up of community members. They stated that there were lack of resources, which resulted in those community members using their own resources. And we observed that with the second body that was recovered from eMabovini under the Ndlovu local municipality, we saw that, excuse me, even at some point, the disaster management from Umsinga, which was assisting the disaster management in Ndlovu, had to ask for an axe on their way to retrieve that body. We also saw when we were by that river that there was a sort of a makeshift raft that was being built in order to retrieve the body. You'll remember, Mashaba, in situations such as this one, there's quite a bit of equipment that is needed and is used. However, yesterday we did not see that equipment. There were only body bags, no spine boards or anything of that sort. So the community members had to resort to other alternatives in order to retrieve that body. However, just before 5 p.m. we saw that there were search and rescue teams that had arrived in that area in Ndlovu local municipality to assist with the retrieval of the body. Now, as stated, in terms of today, we know that they are continuing to search for 2 other bodies, and that's 2 males. We know that the victims comprise of 3 females and 1 male. So the 2 other missing people at this particular point, we've been told, are 2 males. So that's what's set to take place today, the retrieval of those 2 males, which at this particular point, there's no certainty in terms of where the search is actually going to start.
All right, thanks very much, Silethiwe, Newzroom Afrika reporter, coming to us live there with an update from KZN. We'll keep you posted on that story.